Welcome to this episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast. This is a special bonus episode, and I am chatting with my friend and our amazing healing meditation expert, glorious goddess extraordinaire, Richelle Ross of R3 Magical Essence. Richelle, thanks for coming back to the podcast.
Thanks for having me again, Sarah. I absolutely appreciate being here. I'm so grateful, and I absolutely love you and your amazing business. So I'm really excited to be here. So thank you.
I'm excited to have you, and I'm sure all of our Enchanted Journey members who get to spend time with you every month are excited to have you. So as the time we're recording this, you just did one of your meditation sessions with our community. And people were sharing afterwards great feedback and how they just love working with you. And you've been doing sessions with our inner circle. That's our higher tier membership with those folks too. And I got to tell you, when I saw, okay, so this is kind of a weird thing to say publicly, but like we pay you to do these, right? Like we pay everybody who does them. And usually because there's a big list of people, of service providers for our inner circle members to book in with every month, because they all get like a session or a reading or whatever. And some people get two, depending on their level in the membership. Anyway, when I got your like first two invoices, there was like 6 on there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can see who has run to the front of the line in bookings. It's Richelle, because everybody else, like people book in with all sorts of folks, but you started reading or doing your sessions a little bit into the membership. So people had been like already booking with other people. And anyway, so when we put you on the roster, it looks like everybody just was like, yes, sign me up with Richelle, get me in there because you're that awesome. We know that you were born magical. We know that you are intuitive, and we know that you are brimming with everyday enchantment. Here at the Sisters Enchanted, we believe in intention, we believe in intuition, and we believe in everyday magic. Welcome in to the Expedition to Soul podcast.
Oh, I did not head it up, but yeah, I really appreciate that. I love doing it. It's like my favorite thing to do is just like connecting and spending time with them. It's just like,
yeah,
yay, I get to be with them even more.
Yeah, no, it's so good. So thank you for doing that. Okay, tell anybody who doesn't know who you are, because it's been a while since you've been on the podcast. Can you give a quick, like, who you are, what you do, that kind of thing?
Okay. Hi. So my name's Richelle, and I run a small business called R3 Magical Essence, and I'm a spiritual life healing teacher. So I work with healings like spiritual. I work with the mind, the body, the soul, the heart, and finding a beautiful balance of how to love your life even more deeply and actually living your life with passion, drive, and connection and purpose. And that's what I do. And I do that from Reiki to trainings to courses to meditations to you just need a little bit of connection, whether you lay down and I just do energy work with you and just connect with who you believe in. And that's little me. That's me.
Yeah, so good. You're so good at what you do also. So to piggyback on this, one of the things you mentioned was Reiki. I would like to, okay, Reiki is one of those things that I feel like, I think a few years ago, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you can tell me about this, that a few years ago, I feel like everybody was talking about Reiki. And then, I mean, people still talk about it, but it seems to me that maybe it's like become a little less buzzy. Like maybe it's not, before people, I think were just like, I mean, you could take like a $10 Udemy class on Reiki, and like who even knows, what's going on there. But it was like so everywhere. And to me anyway, I'm seeing a little bit like less of that discussion. So can you tell us what is Reiki firstly?
Reiki. Okay, so I'm going to try and explain this to you guys. So Reiki is this beautiful energy. It's this life force, universal energy that comes from who you believe in, directly to the practitioner who is in tuned by the Reiki energy and goes through the client. So it's just a beautiful energy that's full of love, pureness, and divine light that connects with the person that needs the Reiki energy. But for that to work, the practitioner, the student has to be attuned with the Reiki energy itself. If they're not using Reiki energy at all. So they do need to go through a Reiki teacher or master to have that connection with the universal energy. Otherwise, you just get using your energy and starting to become depleted because you're tapping into your energy instead of the universal energy. So that's a little bit about what Reiki is, but it's just how it connects to your life force, because Reiki is life force. It's life, it's energy. It's just very pure, and it just connects with the mind, the body, the soul, and aura in your energy field.
So you teach Reiki also, and you will help people to be able to do this for themselves and for other people. And like I said, there are lots of ways, I think, of learning Reiki, but you in particular, I remember like you were very hesitant to do it virtually and online. You were like, Sarah, no, there's no way I'm doing that. But then COVID happened and you felt it. You're like, all right, I guess I'm going to do this. So what is unique about your approach to Reiki and connecting with people? Because I do think that, of course, you can choose from an array of options for anything, but I think that the person that you are learning from and their connection to the practice and that energy, I think, is important also. So can you talk about just your, how Reiki works, or how you teach it, the different kinds of Reiki, all that jazz?
Okay, so where am I going to start with this one? Good question, Sarah.
Small question. It has 5 million parts to it.
It's a good question, though. Okay, so let's start from here. So you guys are aware of how long I've been doing this. So you're like, oh, okay, Richelle knows this. I've been doing energy work, Reiki, since 16, 17 years old, and it's just progressed from there. And I just kept learning more about Reiki and got a few levels of my master's and teacher level because I wanted to know more. So with Reiki and my students, because I do teach it and I love teaching. And the reason I love teaching is because the student gets to connect to themselves, gets to discover what Reiki energy is, what their life force is all about, but also to have the knowledge of what to look for in a Reiki practitioner if they want to go see a Reiki practitioner for themselves, or they do want to become a Reiki practitioner themselves. It just really depends on which path you actually want to take. The Reiki courses are really are like 8 to 9 hours long, but they're completely worth it. They have so much knowledge, but it's like you learn to connect with who you believe in at a higher point. You get to connect with the healing love energy, because it is just a beautiful healing love energy, and you get to actually discover that you learn how to surrender even more, because you, as the practitioner, if you choose to become a practitioner, of course, is that the practitioner just lets go, surrenders completely in the whole session, and lets the energy flow to where it needs to within the person's mind, body, soul, and heart. So yeah, that's what they do right there. I totally like botching the question.
No. I think that, and I think what you're saying is just, it describes your connectedness, and your passion for doing this work. And there's different kinds of Reiki, and like all of them.
Yeah, there is different types of Reiki. And I do want to touch base on one thing, so you guys actually do know this, is there is a difference. Like when I first did my Reiki, I learned how to do attunements. That meant where I had to physically be with the student and do the connection for them physically. I had to be physically there with them and like put the symbols, put the energy through, help that flow. And I don't even know how many years I was dreaming it. I kept dreaming about the sun the whole time. And I'm like, okay, I really need to find this next course. And I finally found it, and it was called Holy Fire. And I was just like, I need to do this. I need to do this. So I finally did the course, got my master's in it. And the difference there is I moved from attunements to placements where I actually don't have to physically be near the student. I don't have to place anything in their hands or the back of their head or in their feet anymore. I don't have to use a certain breath anymore. I just let it go as well. And the holy fire just takes over completely and attunes the student into the Reiki energy so they can flow with a divine energy. And it's more refined, it's powerful, it's this beautiful connection. Absolutely.
So much goodness. One of the other things that you are very, very good at is leading people through meditation, visualization, and that's what you do for our group every month is this healing meditation. How do you what got you to doing that for people, and what's it about? Because I record meditations. You can meditate just in sitting in silence. I mean, you can do meditation in a lot of different ways, but what is this like healing meditation all about?
So my healing meditations, thanks for the question. The healing meditations is a little different with me because yes, it's about meditating and connecting with yourself, and finding that peace and that harmony and that balance. But for me, it's more about the experience. It's what do you actually experience in your meditation? What do you experience with your healing? It's about experiencing with your spiritual team and who you believe in from above and below. That is what is really important to me, is like, what are you experiencing? So you can tap more into your life force, more into your connection, and start bringing in, what's the word I'm looking for? Bringing in faith, bringing in belief of yourself, and having that strength to leap forward into whatever it may be on your path, and trusting what you're actually receiving, whether it's seeing, feeling, sensing, hearing, or knowing, that you learn to trust that without hesitation, without doubt, and learning to the more I meditate, the more I connect with this, the more I'm trusting the light. I'm trusting the connection and who I believe in. And that's why I love doing my healing meditations. Yes, I guide you, but the point is that you get to be guided. And then at the end, you get to surrender that entire experience to who you believe in and just trust the process of where you're going to be journeyed through your meditation.
You were so passionate about that just then. I feel just your last, you've done this. I've done this also with the groups and whatnot, but I've had a Reiki done by you. I've done Akashic Records with you, participated in the group visual or meditations, and everybody had a different experience, with it. And I think that that's what's so great about it, is that you're bringing something to people where they can really experience it for themselves. All right, switch gears a little bit again here. I just keep hopping around this this conversation. Just let's hop to this next thing.
I'm loving it.
I want to talk a little bit about what brought you to having the faith in yourself to do what you do for other people, because I think that this can be really inspirational to folks who are maybe thinking of doing something, maybe trying a new line of work, or maybe anything at all, maybe trying to wear an outfit that's outside of the realm of things they would normally wear, and they're not sure. But you are a person now, obviously we won't tell your whole life story, but I know you from the last few years, and you've been through some stuff these last few years. It has been a trying time for you, to say the least. And I can say though that you are a person who certainly takes leaps of faith, and just no matter what's happening, the facts, like the logical, this has to be done, but aren't a person who, to me anyway, I don't see you as a person who worries too much about how everything's going to happen. Like I haven't, and I guess I don't know you in person in physical space, but having conversations, I've never known you to be a person who's particularly like, no, I have to do it this way, or I'm not open to this. Like you seem like a person who's really just takes leaps of faith and is like, the right thing will happen. Can you talk about that a little bit? Like what that means to you, taking a leap of faith, and how like what goes through your mind when you're just like, well, the right thing will happen. Think about what life would look like if you had the foundation to do the shadow work, understand where you're holding yourself back, and the confidence to bring some everyday magic elements into your life, follow your intuition, and know exactly the steps forward for you. Well, that's what we teach you and more in our Holistic Witchery program. Be sure to get on the wait list for Holistic Witchery. It's the one class we think everybody should take here at the Sisters Enchanted. It has changed so many lives and is at the core of all of our fundamental beliefs about who we are and how we propel ourselves forward in a way that makes great change for ourselves and those around us. Check out holisticwitchery.com, get on the wait list, and we can't wait to welcome you into class just as soon as enrollment opens.
Oh man, I could go into so many directions with this one. I could, but oh, I just really hope I didn't like start crying here.
It's okay. I could always edit out your tears. No.
um Okay, so I'm going to actually do something. I love the question, and I'm actually going to do something a little different here. I'm like, um, so for those who are actually who are listening, I would like you to look at your life, like actually look at it, and I want you, whether you're driving or you're sitting on the couch drinking coffee or your tea, and I want you to just look at your life, and I just want you to look at it and just take a moment. And I want you to feel really deep into your heart and your lungs. Your lungs are really important right now. Reason being, I want you to feel your breath. And what does that breath feel like? Does it feel like there's a tightness or constriction? Does your heart, or does it feel like it's blossoming and opening? Like imagine a flower just blossoming into within your lungs and you're growing. And your heart is like beating really fast or really slow, or is it coming to stillness? Like feel into that. And I would like you again to just look at your life and see what it is within your life that you actually love, that the beauty, the creation, what you have created for yourself. And I want you to feel, is there emotion coming up? Are you feeling like there's tears coming up, whether they're sad or excitement? Is there something missing? Do you feel like, oh, there's an ache? Or do you feel like your hand wants to move to a certain part of your body? Do you feel like something is missing? And then you look again at your life, your surroundings. It could be within your home, or maybe a memory, a moment is coming within your whole life, from your past to now. Do you feel a tug or a pull? And then I want you to take in 3 breaths. And I want you to just sigh it all out. And I wanted you to ask yourself that question. When last have you leaped into your life? Whether it's like a new career, a relationship, want to change cities, you want to do something different, you want to leap into something exciting, but you like being so afraid to do it. I want you to tune into that feeling. And does it make you feel, oh, an ache? Your inner child is saying, hey, remember me? I used to be free. I used to run around and fall down and get up again. I want you to look into that. And then your higher self, he or she reveals themselves to you and be like, this is who you are. Allow yourself to awaken to that, to allow yourself to blossom. You have this beautiful light inside you that is so powerful, that is so strong, that's full of love. Why don't you mount to love? Meaning, by mounting to love, you're allowing yourself to release the doubts, release the hesitation, release those fears of, what would family think? What would people think if I just do something completely different? And ask yourself, are you actually being really true to yourself? Emotions will come to the surface even more. You might tear up again. But I actually really want you to ask yourself that question. Are you actually being true, authentic to yourself? Exploring what you actually want to leap into, which leads to you discovering your life even more and discovering your passions, your drive, your purpose, what your path looks like for you. And you're probably wondering, well, that's easier said than done. As Sarah has said before, I've done a lot of years of hardship and craziness in my life that I had to like push through and challenge through. And my little self, my inner child, was like, no, we're pushing through, we're doing this, discovering how hard you can push, but also learning how to connect with your flow even more. So when a wall, an obstacle comes and falls right in front of you, look at that wall and say, are you a wall? You're an object, you're a pedal. I can just shove you over. I can walk through you. I can walk over you. I can touch you and you will crumble to ashes. It's how much you believe in yourself, your light, your life force to push forward into your dreams, your creations, your life that you deserve. Because all of you actually deserve a life that you love. It's just leaping to it, allowing yourself to take those steps, whether it's a baby step or a big step. So I ask you right now to just sit and look at your life and see where you want to leap towards. It may be filled with love. Make sure it's filled with love and excitement.
Well, now it should just end. Say goodbye. That's so good. You're so passionate. That was so good. Everybody needs to listen to that and repeat. I like have no words for you, but I think that was brilliant.
Okay.
And I appreciate you sharing that with everybody who's listening right now. So good. See, I wasn't lying when I said Richelle was the best and everybody loves her. All right. Listen, I know what it's like to be completely impassioned by something and then like just throw it out there and then have to like go relax after. I know what that's like. So Richelle, okay, we talked about Reiki, we talked about meditation, and you have just led everybody to the glorious truth that they can do anything if you can just take a leap of faith and believe in yourself.
Just believe in yourself.
So good. Well, I think that we should just wrap it up because that was really good. And there's like no other, I don't know. You just said a lot about who you are in that message. You are a healer. You are a person who empowers people. You are a person who's confident in who you are, and you are a person who can move mountains. So you just told everybody through that who Richelle Ross is. And Richelle, if you're not watching this, I've seen a video here because we do post this video, my friend. Yeah, she's like, no. Then you should see Richelle's like hiding her face. She's not pleased that I'm going to post this video, but it's all good. And you can find Richelle at r3magicalessence.com and get some of this goodness yourself. Book in a session with her. I promise you won't regret it. And if you're part of our community here, Richelle does a monthly healing visualization meditation with our Enchanted Journey membership. So when you join Holistic Witchery, you'll have access to that. And Richelle also does one-on-one sessions with our inner circle members, and those are included in that membership. So we got some ways to hook you up with Richelle. And of course, you can bypass us and go straight to her website, r3magicalessence.com. and hang out with her there. Richelle, do you have anything to say before I end us? I know I totally just like wrapped us up, but I feel That was so good. I feel like there's not a proper way to end after something like that. So I don't know. Do you have any last words? Maybe a person who just feels like, oh, this all sounds really great for me. Like, I don't know. Do you have anything to add?
um wow. One, I'm a little like, I didn't know there was going to be a video. I'm like, oh yay. Enjoy the laughter, guys. I wanted to say firstly, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for being here, sir, and thank you for, like, I just want to say thank you for always being in my life for all these years. Like, you're like my amazing friend, and I appreciate you with all my heart. Like, thank you so much. I
Well,
really
I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you. I'm gonna bring you to America one of these days.
I would totally jump onto that.
Take a leap, Rochelle.
For me to leave, I need my passport.
Yeah, leap over the country lines.
Like that.
Yeah, jump over the border.
Oh man. So yeah, thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's listening. I greatly appreciate you, whether it's your first time hearing me or knowing me, or you've known me for the last couple of years. I just want to say thank you. And if you are in the moment right now in doubt or hesitation of who you are, just remember that's completely okay. Just don't run away from yourself. Take a pause, take a moment to reflect why you're feeling that way, and just take one leap, just one small leap of faith into towards who you are, to discover that beautiful light that you have within.
Yeah.
That's what I would say to you right now.
So good. Listen to Rochelle. She knows what she's talking about. All right, my friend, thank you so much for being here. And to everyone listening, we hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day ahead.